movie buffs, I'm Jack Benner. Welcome to my review of The Banshees of Inisherin. The Banshees of Inisherin is a new dark comedy / drama from writer-director Martin McDonagh starring Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Kerry Condon, and Barry Keoghan. Set in 1920s Ireland, our two main characters are two lifelong friends played by Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson until one day, one of them suddenly ends their friendship. And the film focuses on the aftermath and the consequences for both of them. I was very excited for this movie because of writer-director Martin McDonagh. I think he's both a committed storyteller and a fantastic writer and director. I love the way he makes his films and writes his dialogue. And he has directed In Bruges, 7 Psychopaths, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I am planning on rewatching both In Bruges and 7 Psychopaths, but I remember those movies being great. And 3 Billboards I think is an excellent movie. So I was very excited that not only was he making a new movie, but he was reuniting Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. Reuniting these two actors since In Bruges. The rave reviews from film festivals made me even more excited to see this movie. And it was finally playing at a theater near me this weekend, and I saw it as early as I could. Now I've finally seen it. I am so glad I did because this is one of the best films I have seen this year. Martin McDonagh. 4 for 4. And again, I do plan on rewatching In Bruges and 7 Psychopaths, so I do want to wait until I confirm that. But I have a feeling this could be Martin McDonagh's best film. Let's start with the pros. First, the performances are fantastic across the board. Starting with Colin Farrell, who maybe gives the best performance I've ever seen from him here. With the many times they work together, I feel like McDonagh really knows how to utilize Colin Farrell's strengths as an actor. He's not only great comedic-wise, but was able to play a character with sincerity, empathy, vulnerability, and show a variety of facial expressions perfectly. Watching his excellent performance here and looking back to his performance as the Penguin in The Batman earlier this year, reminds me of how great Colin Farrell is as an actor and has terrific range. And he's definitely Oscar-worthy in this movie, and I hope he gets nominated. And Brendan Gleeson is excellent in this movie, and I also feel like he's Oscar-worthy for Best Supporting Actor nomination, giving a subdued and layered performance. And I don't think the film was trying to villainize his character. Watching the film, you do understand where he's coming from in wanting to cut ties with Farrell's character, even going to certain extremes, that's all I'll say, in wanting to avoid him, yeah. And I feel like him and Colin Farrell really maintained that excellent chemistry they had in Bruges. So if you're excited to see this duo again since that movie, you won't be disappointed here. One supporting performance that should definitely be highlighted here is Kerry Condon, who plays Colin Farrell's sister in the film. She has many standout acting scenes in this film, capturing her stress and frustration of their friendship ending phenomenally, while also playing a significant role as the heart of the film. Her acting was absolutely fantastic in this movie, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if she gets in for an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. And I also want to mention Barry Keoghan. Is it Keoghan or Keegan? I hear it pronounced 2 different ways. But anyways, I thought he was great in this film as this village idiot. On paper or in the wrong hands, this character could have been very irritating. But I think Barry Keoghan knew how to play this character and make him funny and showing his comedic chops without going over the top for the role, while also giving this character some depth that you wouldn't expect from him. And everything I've seen from this actor since Dunkirk, I'm always impressed by him. I think he's a great actor. The real star of the film is Martin McDonagh's assured directing and brilliant screenplay. For his directing, Martin McDonagh did a fantastic job of capturing the Ireland scenery and landscapes beautifully, with great and immersive cinematography that lets you admire it in almost every scene, but also does a good job with this setting with this small town village in Ireland, with not that many people there. Everyone knows everything about each other, there's few places, there's a pub, and I feel like he does a good job making that setting a character in a film, making it so feel lived in, authentic. When tackling the story about the end of a friendship, any ordinary director, I feel like in their hands, would play it safe. But what makes me admire this film is how bold the storytelling and McDonagh's unique approach to it. He doesn't try to make you choose sides between the two main characters. More so, you do understand where they're coming from for different reasons. Colin Farrell for wanting the friendship to be intact, and for Brendan Gleeson just finding Colin Farrell's character dull and wanting to avoid him. And instead of choosing sides, it just keeps me invested from start to finish and curious to see where things were going to go. Whenever I'm watching a movie, I can usually tell, okay, this is what's going to happen there, this is going to happen, it's kind of predictable, this and that. Not here though. Like with 3 Billboards, I find it refreshing when I could just shove away predicting what's going to happen next and just be focused and immersed in the film. And this movie is also very funny. There were great moments of Martin McDonagh's signature dark comedy that are just so funny. But what I also like about Martin McDonagh is that he keeps his films tonally balanced, knows when to have comedic moments, but also pretty effective dramatic moments at the same time. Just certain back and forth dialogue between certain characters that had me laughing out loud, and just so many lines in this movie that I thought were absolutely hilarious. And when it starts to get serious, it doesn't feel like an abrupt tonal shift, but rather it keeps the story engaging, while also being an emotionally resonant film about genuine friendship, loss, how rejection affects you, stubbornness, your behavior, and consequences, all tackled here in an excellent screenplay. And this could be tied with Everything Everywhere All at Once for my favorite screenplay of the year. And I can see why there would be certain people that wanting more from the ending, but upon thinking about it, I do like where the story concludes, and looking back to the film, I can see why the film ended that way, and seeing where the two main characters were coming from, I can see why the film chose to end that way. As for issues or nitpicks, if I were to choose any problems I would have with this movie, it would be in the third act. There were some minor pacing issues where I do feel the length just a bit. In conclusion, Martin McDonagh is at the top of his game yet again with the Banshees of Inisherin, with his bold storytelling and top-notch filmmaking. On top of all that, 3 fantastic performances from Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Kerry Condon, who are all worthy of Oscar nominations. If you are a fan of Martin McDonagh's work, if you love In Bruges, 7 Psychopaths, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and you're excited for this movie, definitely go see it. And if you loved his previous films, I don't think you'll be disappointed here. Or if you've never seen any of his previous films and this looks interesting to you, then I do think you should check it out. And maybe by chance, this movie will get you interested in checking out Martin McDonagh's filmography. Now, just to let you know, this is not a film for everyone due to its dark nature and how misanthropic it is. But I found it to be a darkly funny, tense, profound, and emotionally resonant film that floored me when it ended. This is currently one of my top 5 favorite movies I have seen so far this year, and the Oscar buzz surrounding the film, it's definitely deserving. And now to grade it, I am going to give The Banshees of Inisherin 4.5 stars out of 5, an A. This movie's starting to go wide this weekend, and if it is playing at a theater near you, definitely go see it as soon as possible. And now, let's talk about Oscar chances. For Oscar chances, this does seem like a lock to get in for Best Picture. It does seem like the top 5 would be Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Babylon, Women Talking, and probably The Banshees of Inisherin at number 5 in my Best Picture predictions. And I also feel like this movie's locked for acting. Colin Farrell for Best Actor, Brendan Gleeson for Supporting Actor, Kerry Condon for Best Supporting Actress, Barry Keoghan for Supporting Actor. I don't know if he'll get in. It was a great performance, but I don't know if I see it being an Oscar-worthy performance. And I do feel like Keoghan will be overshadowed by Gleeson in the supporting actor category. And Martin McDonagh is definitely a lock for Best Original Screenplay. I hope it gets in. As for directing, could Martin McDonagh get in? For Best Director, who I'm predicting Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Damien Chazelle for Babylon, Sid Daniels for Everything Everywhere, and Sarah Polley for Women Talking. And that could be a wobbly number 5 spot. Who could get in? Who could get snubbed? Maybe I could have Martin McDonagh for number 5, or else who could get in? We'll see. But if Martin McDonagh could get in for Best Director, that'll be awesome, because I thought he did a great job directing, so we'll see how that goes. As for any other things, cinematography maybe, since this film looked beautiful, score maybe, the score in this film was great. So we'll see how this movie does at the Oscars to see how many nominations it could receive. So I would like to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on The Banshees of Inisherin if you've seen it? Do you agree? Disagree with my review? Or if you haven't seen it yet, are you looking forward to the film or not? Let me know below. Did you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this movie? If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here. Don't forget that notification bell for my next upload. It really means a lot. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.